is a kind of loneliness that has nothing to do with whether you are with other people. It is the loneliness of not being known. The loneliness of being in a room full of people and feeling like none of them can see the part of you that feels most true. The loneliness of performing the version of yourself that you think other people can handle while the real version stays home. That loneliness is not the same as being alone. Being alone can be restorative. Being with others can be lonelier than any solitude. And most people who feel lonely at night are not feeling the loneliness of solitude. They are feeling the loneliness of authenticity, the loneliness of having a self that they are not sure anyone else would recognize if they showed it, the loneliness of the mask, the loneliness of being the acceptable version and wondering if anyone would like the real version if they got to meet them. That is one of the most painful forms of loneliness because it looks like you have everything you need and underneath you are starving. It looks like you are connected and underneath you are completely alone. And that discrepancy is one of the most exhausting things about modern life. The outside and the inside do not match. The performance is running smoothly, but the performer is not okay. And no one can tell because the performance is so good. This is one of the most hidden forms of suffering that a person can carry. It does not look like anything from the outside. The person who feels this way looks like they have friends, like they have a life, like they are doing fine. And on the outside, they are doing fine. But on the inside, there is this persistent sense of not being fully seen, of being always slightly ahead of or behind the version of themselves that they are showing, of having this internal experience that nobody has access to and that they are not sure they want anyone to have access to because they are not sure it would be okay if someone saw it. They are not sure the real version would be accepted. They are not sure the real version is worth anything. So they keep the real version at home. They keep it in the dark. They keep it company only when they are alone. And the aloneness becomes a habit. And the habit becomes a wall. And the wall becomes the only way they know how to be in the world. That loneliness is real. It is not imaginary. It is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that you have an interior life that is more complex than the average snapshot reveals. And that is actually a good thing. It means you are not superficial. It means you have depth. It means there is more to you than the part that you show. It means there is an iceberg underneath and the iceberg is real and it matters. The cure for this loneliness is not necessarily more connection. It is more permission. Permission to show more of yourself, even in small ways, to the people around you. Not all at once, not dramatically, just enough to let the inside come outside, just enough to let someone see the part that you have been keeping in, just enough to test whether the world can hold it, just enough to see if the loneliness eases when you stop requiring yourself to be two people at once. Because the loneliness is not about being alone. It is about being divided. It is about having a self that you will not show anyone, and the division is what is costing you. The division is what is making you feel like you are always by yourself even when you are with people. Because you are always by yourself. You are with people, but you are also always by yourself because the real you is not in the room. The real you is at home. And you are in the room performing. That is the split. That is what the loneliness is. It is the split between the self that is shown and the self that is hidden. And the way out of it is not more connection. It is more honesty. More willingness to risk being seen in the real version, because the alternative is to keep the separation forever, to keep being the person that people see on the outside while the person on the inside stays home. And that is a very lonely way to live, even when you are surrounded by people, especially when you are surrounded by people. Tonight I want you to consider what would happen if you let someone see the part you have been hiding. Not everything, just a little. Just enough to test whether the world can hold it. Just enough to see if the loneliness eases when you stop requiring yourself to be two people. The loneliness you are feeling is not a permanent condition. It is just the condition of not being known. And it can change when you are ready. Not before, but when you are ready. The real you is worth knowing. The real you has been waiting. They have been patient. They have been hoping that someone would ask, someone would see, someone would recognize them. Tonight, ask yourself who might be safe, who might be ready, who might be waiting to meet the real you if they knew the real you was available. You might be surprised. The world is more ready than you think. The world has been waiting for you to show up as yourself, not as the performance, as the real one. Tonight, let them have a little of the real one, just a taste, just enough. See what happens. See if the loneliness eases when the split gets smaller. It does. It will. You will feel less alone in the room even if the room has not changed. Because you changed. You brought more of yourself. That is the cure, not more people, more of you, more honesty, more willingness to be known. Try it tonight, just a little, see what you find. The real you has been waiting long enough. Let them out, just a little, just enough. You are ready. You have always been ready, you just had to believe it was safe to try. Try now, a little, see. You will be okay. You will be less alone. You will be more yourself. That is everything. And if tonight feels like too much, if the risk feels too high, if the loneliness feels too heavy to test, that is okay too. You do not have to fix this tonight. You do not have to solve the loneliness in one evening. You just have to know it is there. You just have to acknowledge it. You just have to give it a name. And the naming is often enough to let it settle. The stone moves not because it was finished, but because it was witnessed. You witnessed yourself tonight. You saw the loneliness, you named it. You let it be what it is. And that is enough for tonight. That is a start. That is the beginning of the cure, the witnessing, the naming, the allowing it to exist instead of pretending it does not. That is how healing begins, not in the fixing, in the allowing. Tonight, allow the loneliness to exist. Give it space. Name it. Witness it. And tomorrow, or the next day, or whenever you are ready, let a little more of the real you come out. Let the split get smaller. Let the loneliness ease. You will find that the world can hold more than you thought. You will find that the loneliness was not the condition. The condition was the not being known. And it can change. When you are ready, you are almost ready. I can feel it. You can feel it. The split is getting smaller. The real you is coming out. Keep going. You are almost there. You are almost home. You will get there. You always do. Keep going.